here are 3 activities parents can do with their children to introduce them to AI, prepare them for this strange world we are entering. So I like to, there's a bunch of different things I do with my kids with AI, ChatGPT or Claude, but let me think which 3 I will give you. Okay, one is storytelling. So my son has to, for example, read every day for 20 minutes as part of his school, 5 days a week, part of his homework, or rather 4 days a week. And sometimes we read a book, but sometimes we generate a story. You can use ChatGPT or Claude. I will use ChatGPT here. So I have a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I will let them both say like what they want the story to be about, what kind of creatures they want, where they want it to take place, stuff like that. And then I will throw in like some kind of lesson I want, some kind of moral of the story that I want to be conveyed. Or if, let's say, I was recently thinking I would like my kids to get more into music, so I was like, maybe talk about like the wonders of music or something like that. So I'll show you how I do it. So over here, I like to use the audio feature. So there's that little microphone here. This is like speech to text, and it works really well. So I will say, hi, I want you to generate a story for my kids, and my son wants there to be, for the story to take place in the savannah of Africa, and he wants there to be some lions in the story. My daughter wants there to be 2 mermaids who are blowing bubbles, and I would like them to learn in this story something about how music is awesome and encourage them to learn a musical instrument. All right, go. So then I press this arrow here. I pressed the arrow. Oops, there was an arrow over here. I pressed it. Now it's generating the story. And the story's generated. Oh, it's almost generated. I wait for this. Okay, so then I scroll. Something's up with my phone. The shading is strange. But I scroll to the bottom of the story, and I just want it to read the story. So if you look close, there's a speaker next to those 2 squares. So I press the speaker.
The Bubbles Song of the Savannah. Far away in the golden savannah of Africa, where
By the
tall
way,
grasses danced in the wind.
I'm going to pause it for a second. You can pause up here, pause, play. So we don't have to have the AI read it. We could just read, or I could have my son read it himself, like practice his reading, or he can read while hearing the narration of ChatGPT. But here, I'll press play again. I paused it.
There lived a young lion named Keto. Keto loved to roar, but he secretly wished he could make beautiful sounds like the birds and crickets he heard every evening. One hot afternoon, Keto wandered to a watering hole. As he peeked into the water, he saw something surprising.
Okay.
Pop!
You get it. That is one use case, storytelling. Another use case, I use it with my kids, is we like to go out in nature a lot, and my kids ask a lot about different bugs, like what kind of bug is that? What kind of plant is that? What kind of bird is that? So what I'll do when I don't know the answer, which is often, I will just take a picture. I can either use the camera of my phone, or you can just press, you see this plus button over here? Press this plus button. Press it, plus button. Now I can use the camera here. Camera, oops. Okay, now the camera is on. So I could take a picture. Like, let me take a picture of myself. Boom. Took a picture of myself. Now I upload it here and I say, hey ChatGPT, what kind of animal is that? And it's going to answer. But no, this is a joke, but it could be like press the...
Nice try. I can't identify a real person in a photo, including whether it's you or someone else, but I can describe what I see.
Okay, anyway, but if there was an actual lizard or snake or whatever, it would tell you what kind of animal that is, or a lizard. And I mean, I will say, if you're ever gonna like ask it to identify a mushroom, or it's good to with AI, like it's very accurate a lot of the time, but you always want to verify, like if it's a snake and you're not sure if it's venomous, or if it's a mushroom and you're thinking to eat it, like look what it says and then verify from other sources if there's some kind of high stakes. Okay, so that was 2. Then a third case scenario. This is a little different. This is, well, sometimes with my 4-year-old, sometimes if they don't listen to me, I've told a story before how we were gonna drive, and she refused to fasten her seatbelt, and she knows how to fasten her seatbelt. She has one of those like 3 harness things, and I ask her to buckle up, she won't buckle up, and I ask her repeatedly, she refuses to do so. So then I do something like this. So then I would just press, you could either do the speech to text, which is pressing the little microphone thing, or you can just do live conversation, which I'll do that right here. Let's see. Hey chat, my daughter is refusing to buckle up her seatbelt. Can you please ask her to buckle up?
Hey there, I know seatbelts can sometimes feel like a hassle, but they're super important to keep you safe. Like a cozy hug that protects you if the car stops fast. Could you do me a favor and buckle up now? I know you can do it.
Normally, but like if you could say your kid's name and it will say the kid's name, and I found it to be surprisingly effective, like having that extra parent who is, well, not parent, an extra adult. It seems like an adult that is not me, that my kid will often listen to when they're not listening to me. So that's just an example. Or if my kids are fighting, like, hey, can you please tell them to be nice to each other? Stuff like that. So those are 3 use cases. Thank you for watching. Like and follow if you want more information like this. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.